Well, good morning. It's the 11th. Forgot about shooting the video yesterday, so I'm just getting to it today. It's actually a better day. We've got some cloud cover today, so hopefully it'll rain. Rained a little bit last night, like maybe 10 minutes, and then day before too, about 10 minutes. But anyways, let's get started. Here with my aquaponics. I think I finally have things stabilized. I moved these from, these are spinach plants, and I moved them from one of my containers. I'm not sure if this one's going to make it, but these may. We'll see. I'm going to give them a few more days. They went through some shock, as did my jalapeno plant. But as you can tell, there's a bunch of new growth. Basically, all the leaves have fallen out, like this one. But there's a lot of new growth here. Basically, all these stems all have new leaves. I even have a little flower on this one. So that one's recovered. This is a lettuce plant. One of the ones I'm calling a wild lettuce because this has just grown from seeds from the last couple seasons and was growing on the edge of my lawn. So I pulled it out, popped it in here, and it's seems like it's doing okay. This here, I'm not sure what it is. I'm hoping that it is a cucumber, but that popped up a couple days ago, so we'll see how that does. And what continues to do really well are my asparagus. They're just growing like crazy, and these are new, these little shoots that have popped up. I mean, they still look way too small to be eaten, but I've got these, that one there, and these all popping up. I decided to go ahead and pull out the window panels on this section, let some natural sunlight come in, and I really think that's been helping. Really liking all this new growth. All these little leaves that are popping up. So, keep you updated on that. Move the swirl filter over here and made some changes. I put some filter material in there and it's cleaned up the water. And back over here, what was once my sump tank is now my tank, and it has all the remaining living fish. The 5 feeders, those are the big guys, and I went down to the local fish store and got some more. So I think I got about 15-20 goldfish in there. I still haven't cleaned up the big IBC tank. I pretty much have let it dry out. I've used up all the water, and so that part is still a work in progress. Let me pause and I'll take you outside. Okay, I guess first stop on my container garden is this is the coffin container that I built. It was full of carrots, but I've been going through all of them. And so what we got remaining in here, I have planted some new spinach, but they haven't popped up yet. This is crazy. I'm still getting some grass popping up. But got some onions, some basil from last season has popped up, as well as some celery that has popped up from last season. More here. I do have one more little carrot, so we'll see how that one goes. As well as this. And this is a lettuce plant. I may eat that today. Trying to clear up some room so I can get these cucumber plants some space so they can grow. Like I said, I planted some spinach all along here, so hopefully they'll be popping up, and I have some sprouts for you the next time I shoot a video. These are cilantro plants. I've let them go to seed. I'll probably be collecting all the seeds on this one here today, since this plant is pretty much, that's what it's gone through its entire life cycle. And these are getting pretty close. Moving on to this container, and this is just going crazy. I had a whole batch of carrots in here, gone through, pulled everything, replanted it with more carrots, and they just have come in. Talking about thick as thieves. I have a couple more plants in there. I think I have some spinach. And this is the potato plant. So I'm hoping that by the end of the season I'm going to have a whole bunch of potatoes in there. Back in here, I've got more spinach, some onions, got some beets going here, and they're all doing pretty happy. This is where I've been pulling most of my spinach from. Just pull an entire plant out at a time. Pretty much makes one meal. And I think this here is a strawberry. It just popped up, and it looks suspiciously like my other strawberry plants. But it would be really nice if that's what it was, because I didn't plant it. And here's all my 2-year-old pepper plants, and they're just all full of the jalapenos. In fact, got some here. They're ready to be picked. They're already turning red. They're not huge, but each little bush is full of it. This is my serrano pepper plant that I've been pulling off a couple almost every day, and it's doing really well, and still full of serrano peppers. You see another pepper plant, and it's full of buds as well as full of peppers. And my tomato plant has been keeping me full with salsa, because it's been producing lots of tomatoes. And here I have another one of those containers with another potato plant, as well as some asparagus. I did have some carrots in here, but those were pulled and eaten. And here's one of those. Couldn't resist. Went over to Lowe's and I got one of these. I liked it because it had a lot of shoots, the little jumpers. So I'm hoping to maybe take those out and put them in my aquaponics. You see what I mean? Is I'm pretty sure, I know this is strawberry, and this looks suspiciously like a strawberry. Over here, my habanero, which is full of, I think the last time I checked it this morning, it's full of little blossoms. It's turned into quite the little bush, but I think I counted about 8 habanero peppers. They're real small right now, but they're growing. And here's my poblano with 4 peppers on there, a bunch of blossoms. These should get much bigger, but these would be very nice because these could be stuffed with cheese. Kind of a smoky flavor. And in here, this is where I was growing all of those radishes, which I quickly discovered I'm not a big fan of radishes. So I planted some seeds for, I believe these are all squash or zucchini squash. And here we got another tomato with a couple pretty good sized tomatoes. So hopefully those will be ready to be picked by the end of the week. And another pepper plant full of peppers. And as part of my ongoing experiment, here's another potato plant, container full of potatoes, as well as asparagus. Now, asparagus in here seems to be doing pretty well. I made some modifications to this. First of all, I shortened it up, that way I can hit it with the sprinkler. And I've got a bunch of spinach in there, as well as a cayenne pepper plant. I had two growing in here, but one dried up and didn't make it. But this guy seems to be doing pretty well. And surprise, surprise, here is that little tree that I've been growing. Moved him to a big pot. Got him over here next to the wall so he doesn't get bashed around by the wind. And it's doing really well. Here's my nectarines. And you see it's just chock full. In fact, getting a little bit worried because this branch, this is probably the two biggest, and it's already starting to show. That's the low-hanging limb. All these guys should be okay, so they're on much bigger limbs, but these two, so we'll see. Still think I have a couple more months before I'll be able to pick any of these anyways. And on over here, this is the newest addition. I got a couple of called cowhorn hot peppers. That's what these two are. And actually these were moved, they were on those tiny little containers. First thing I did was move them to a couple of bigger containers. I don't throw anything away. And actually these were in here. Started in those containers. I moved them over here to these, and these here are all dragon cayenne pepper plants, which are just full of little flowers. Very happy about that. So hopefully I'll have a whole bunch of, oh, looks like someone's been eating on that. Hopefully I'll have a whole bunch of dragon cayenne peppers by the next video. And here is a bunch of flowers on this tomato plant. I think it's aroma. This is my neighbor's yard, like desert. And we'll end it off over here with my little apple cart container that I made. So I've got a bunch of stuff growing. I've got some zucchini, and I've already eaten one off of here, and I believe I have 3 more zucchini that are growing on here. As always, whenever I find that I have some space, I try to plant some spinach. Spinach doesn't need that much room. Also got some beets in here, and this here's an eggplant. Hopefully I'll have some eggplants coming out pretty soon because I've got a bunch of buds. Say hi, Echo. So that's about it. I would take over the tank, but there's nothing going on in the tank. It's empty right now. And I need to pull it out, pull it apart, get inside and scrub it down before I refill it. And I've been feeling a little bit better these last couple weeks, but still not 100%. But see, we got a real cloudy today, so I really hope it rains, because when it rains, it makes all the difference. Much better than watering. So, appreciate you watching. As usual, if you have any questions, comments, please leave them. If you like the video, subscribe, share with as many friends as you'd like. And I appreciate you spending some time watching. All right, we'll see you in about 10 days.